1,700 people call the Atakakoup First Nation home. The rural reserve 200 kilometers north of Saskatoon appears serene, but the people living here have been dealing with a crisis, an HIV epidemic.
If you don't have it, you know someone does, someone in your family does, someone in your cousins or your nephews or nieces.
Daryl Caldwell learned he's infected back in 2011. He's one of at least 60 HIV-positive people living on Atakakoup, and it's not the only reserve facing an epidemic. According to Health Canada, Saskatchewan reserves have an HIV rate 11 times the national rate. Dr. Mona Lutfi is an infectious disease specialist from Toronto who runs clinics on Atakakoup.
Those are incident rates that are equivalent to an African country such as Nigeria.
She says even worse, HIV testing is not being done on most First Nations, and that has deadly consequences.
There have been cases of HIV on reserve in Saskatchewan where people have died of AIDS, never getting an actual diagnosis.
In Saskatchewan, HIV is spreading primarily by people abusing IV drugs and sharing dirty needles.
Good. We'll take your blood pressure here.
Caldwell is now traveling the province, educating First Nations people about HIV, and he says he's running into a lot of ignorance and fear.
A lot of First Nations I know would rather sweep it under the carpet and pretend that they don't have it.
Health Canada says it would like to see more HIV testing on reserve, but it says some reserves just aren't willing or ready. So it takes time to build a relationship.
We work in a very respectful manner. We work with the community leadership.
Do you think it's respectful to let people die in First Nations communities, not even knowing their HIV diagnosis, with a disease that is completely manageable?
Lutfi says she's calling on Health Canada to take a more aggressive approach to HIV testing. And federal and provincial health officials say they're working together to do just that, trying to create a more effective HIV testing system right across the province. Jeff Leo, CBC News, Regina.